witnesses. How about a big round of applause always for the Adam and Q for doing this with us. For everybody who's been here before, I say thanks for coming back. For everybody who hasn't been here before, I'm telling you, you picked the perfect night because this is our biggest show yet. We got 4 comics, including myself, ready to come here and put it down for you. So y'all ready for a good show tonight? Yeah. So check this shit out. I wanted to start out with a nice little story. Last time I was up here on stage, I went into great detail about an ex-girlfriend of mine who could not cook for shit. Also, in the same breath, mentioned my current woman, who has her own problems in the kitchen. Needless to say, that didn't go over well at home. She all mad, pissed off. Why you go on stage and tell everybody I can't cook? Is it true? Well, you shouldn't be up there telling everybody I can't cook. Well, look, baby, relax. I mean, there could have been 100 different things else I could have said about you on stage. Raw shit to say. So, for the last couple of weeks before this show, she's been begging me not to make her a part of this show. And I'm going there. I'll sit back and I'll do everything I can to try to make my woman happy. So let me tell y'all about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's getting ready to come around. She's still got a chip on her shoulder because I came up here and said that she couldn't cook. So she's pissed off. So she comes to me and says, look, we're not doing anything for Thanksgiving. We're sitting right here, no family, no friends. We're going to sit here and I am going to make Thanksgiving dinner. Red light went off in my head immediately. All right? I sat back and I was like, whoa, baby, hold on. All right, how about we both work on Thanksgiving dinner? Because I don't want things to go wrong on Thanksgiving. You know, you don't experiment on Thanksgiving. It's just the way it goes. She's like, no, I'm making Thanksgiving dinner and that's final. You stay out the kitchen. I said, all right, fine. I said, I'll tell you what, you want to make Thanksgiving dinner, you go ahead and make Thanksgiving dinner. I'll go out and I'll buy everything that you need. So you tell me what you want. She said, well, I want turkey and ham, and mashed potatoes and gravy, and macaroni and cheese, and stuffing, you know, the works. I'm like, all right, fine. So the day before Thanksgiving, I went shopping, and I cheated my ass off. I swear to God, I got a pre-cooked ham, I got a pre-cooked turkey, I got microwave mashed potatoes, Kraft macaroni and cheese, jar of gravy, and stovetop. All right, I mean, we had like a heat and eat Thanksgiving. All right, I mean, an entire Thanksgiving buffet done in 15 minutes. And she didn't even catch on to it, man. Thanksgiving Day comes around, she should have sitting there whipping things up in the kitchen. I try to peek in because curiosity is killing me, right? And she goes, no, get out of my kitchen. So I get sneaky. Well, look, baby, I'm just trying to get a beer for the game. Well, get your beer and go. So I go grab my beer and I look over her shoulder while she ain't looking. I see she's working on the stuffing. And I ain't never ever seen nobody make stuffing the way that she made it. Alright, I mean, she had it all mixed up and ready to go. But instead of putting it in a pot, she put it in a oven tray. Alright, then poured a whole bunch of milk all over it, put it in the oven. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know? But I didn't say anything. I said, you know what? I'm going to let her do her business. I'm going to let her, let's see where this shit goes. Alright? Sure shit did come out, and I'll give her credit. It tasted good. It looked like a pan full of baby vomit, but it tasted good. Alright? And I never said anything. After it was all said and done, I never said anything about it because the look of pride and achievement on her face after dinner was over was too much for me to destroy. She was just sitting there looking at me. How was it, baby? It was good. Really? Are you sure? You're not fucking with me, are you? No, baby, it's okay. See, I told you I could cook. So why don't you go up on stage and tell them about that, huh? Not a problem. And in our family, we have a tradition. Alright, before dinner, before anybody eats a bite, we have a tradition. Everybody goes around the table and they say 3 things that they're thankful for Thanksgiving. Now, I didn't do this year, but to make up for it, I'm going to do it now. Alright, first thing, I'm grateful my kitchen is still intact. Second, I'm grateful that my children don't have 3rd-degree burns. And third off, I'm grateful that my woman gave me something to open up this show with. So how about a huge round of applause for my lady for being a good sport while I'm sitting up here talking shit. Alright, so this first comedian, he's been making his name for himself in the business. He hails from Columbus, Ohio. He's a regular at the Funny Bone. He performed in the last comic standing up at BG University. He was also the biggest act in the Columbus Comedy Festival, because my man is big. Alright, so how about a big round of applause for my man Dustin Meadows. Hey man, how you doing today, breathing back.
Guys, things have been going pretty great for me in the comedy world lately. Just last week, I was named the funniest person in Columbus. 2 days before that, a girl that I'm pretty sure I'm in love with left for Africa for 2 years. Alright, universe, we'll call it a draw! That's the way we're going with this right now. And I've been trying to deal with it. It's been hard. Like, let me ask you, do you guys ever get so lonely you fall asleep next to an open box of pizza? Like, you want the warmth, you want the illusion of there being somebody there next to you, and then you wake up in the morning, you got like pizza sauce on your face, cheese and pepperoni under your fingernails, just like, God, I am just the world's shittiest werewolf. I've been doing that a lot. I've been trying to, like, I order pizza a lot, if that wasn't obvious by now, because I love pizza. And I order online from a site called Grubhub, because like, I love pizza, but I hate human contact, so I don't like talking to anybody. And every time the delivery guy comes over, he starts everything up. I like ordering because I don't have to put pants on. So it's pretty cool for me. And like, he'll come up and he's just like, man, come on, dude, like, would it kill you to put some clothes on? I'm like, look, this is the third time you've been at my house this week, Chad. You're gonna see my dick, Chad. Like, you're the delivery guy. I can either not hang a little brain, or I can tip you really well, but you're not gonna get both. This is the agreement we had. And like, I talk to delivery drivers more than I talk to my mom right now. Because every time my mom calls, it's always, hey Dustin, are you seeing anybody? Are you married yet? And I was like, shut up, Mom, you're not my dad! You're not the boss of me. You guys want to see a magic trick? Yeah! Alright, this magic trick is called disappointing your friends and family for almost 30 years. Ta-da! Let's talk about this. I'm so glad the election's over. Anybody else? Like, every year the election comes around, my friends are like, Dustin, you have to vote, you have to vote. I don't have to do shit. If I leave the house, I have to put on something besides a bathrobe. That's a have to. Like, my obligation as an American citizen begins and ends at not drinking Capri Suns naked in the dog park. You're welcome, America. Like, and every year my friends tell me, oh, Dustin, you have to vote. Like, it's important. Your voice has to be heard. Your vote counts. My vote counts. Here's the thing about that. I've eaten ice cream for breakfast more than once and on purpose. But my vote counts. Whenever I get real lonely, which is all the time, I like to practice Kung Fu naked in front of the window, like the guy from the second Die Hard movie. But my vote counts. Like, I voted twice now when I was in college, and both years, like, my vote got discounted because there was some kind of a processing error. So at this point, instead of voting, I might as well just put a cowboy hat on and just run around outside my house screaming, "Keep your laws off my pizza!" Because it means nothing. That's how effective my voice is. The election came and went, and like, maybe Obama will fix things, maybe he won't, I don't know. I know I can't fix the country. I know the other guy who can't fix the country is the guy who's sitting across the bar from me at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Now, I was in a bar at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon because I had just had Cece's Pizza for lunch. So clearly I'm not even trying anymore. This guy had options, and he started everything up. Like, he's going on, he's like, oh, we got to cut federal spending, we got to give the deficit a hand jibber, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, fuck it, this is America. Let me get my soapbox out. Hey, Obama! I'm paying my taxes, why isn't Jurassic Park a reality yet? Oh, I'm not going to go there, but I'd like to buy vacation packages for all my enemies. Mitt Romney, you're not off the hook. I don't know what your plan is for all these cute bartenders who won't shut up about Mumford and Sons. Ron Paul, you still a tongue devil? I'm not too worried about you. You're all right. You're all right. Like I said, I've been doing comedy for a while. It's been pretty good to me. I've been privileged enough to travel and do it. Privileged enough to go to towns like Cornersburg, Ohio. That's the real, oh man. Walk, walk. Just another shitty hand dealt to the D-man. If this night wasn't going to end in me crying already, it's definitely going to now. Somebody might as well come up and shoot a pizza in front of me while they're at it. Just a bunch of tragedies unfolding. Cornersburg, Ohio, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like those ghost towns from Westerns, except instead of tumbleweeds blowing through, it's mobile meth labs. That's the kind of town Cornersburg, Ohio is. And I made the drive up there. It's like a 3.5-hour drive from Columbus for me. And when I got there, I was real hungry. So I decided I was going to treat myself and order a grilled steak salad, because I'd never had one before. And they bring out this big heaping bastard of a salad with French fries on it, because why wouldn't there be French fries on my salad? And like, as I'm looking at this, the entire time, just like, it's every bad encounter I ever had with a jock in high school. Like, I'm just trying to eat healthy. Shut up and give me your magic cards, you fucking nerd! Look, man, I'm just, trying to make healthy choices, And I've never been more convinced that something I was about to eat was going to shove me into a locker and call me a faggot. This was the most hostile dinner I've ever had. I was like, all right, this is the way it's going. I was sitting at home last week, just watching stuff on TV or whatever, and like I'll have these moments when I'm sitting at home where I feel like eyes on me, like just judging me silently, and they won't say anything, but like I know they're thinking, they're like, the fuck is this guy feel? He's almost 30, he's not married. What's his problem? And I'll just snap and go, shut up, you're my roommate's cats! You shit in a box! I can't hold that over them anymore, though, because recently I pissed in a trash can in my bedroom. And I'm going to explain this tragedy here. The way it is, I have a morning routine. Every day I wake up praying and hoping there's been some kind of dramatic change in my life. I look down and realize I'm still waking up 29 years old, naked under a Batman blanket. Today is not that day. So after I figure that out, I go to take my morning piss because I want to evacuate the sadness and fluids from my body before I start my day. And I can't just walk around there, because as I mentioned, I sleep naked, don't picture it. And I can't do that because I have roommates on account of how well I'm doing for myself. So, like, I go in a bathroom, because they already have to put up with me cry singing Randy Newman every night when I fall asleep. They shouldn't have to see me strut through the house like some kind of naked, awkward Sasquatch thing. So, I go in my bathroom, pop out, turns out my roommate's in the shower. Now, there's 4 of us, only 1 bathroom. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but the night before I drank a lot of whiskey, which is indistinguishable from basically any other night, because every night I usually drink a lot of whiskey. And I look around, I assess my options, I cannot hold it at all. So I think about it, like, I can't go in the backyard because the sun is out. So I look around my room, it's like, oh, we've got some beer bottles here. Fuck that, precision is a young man's game. What do we got here? Trash can. All right, Dustin, commence the saddest moment of your life right now. And as I was doing this, all I could think is there has to be a very specific German phrase that conveys the shame you feel when pissing into a trash can 5 feet away from a Batman blanket. give you a better idea of how I'm doing for myself, you guys. I ate a hot dog off the floor recently. And when I tell you I ate a hot dog off the floor, what you have to understand, this was not the last hot dog in my house. I had like 30 more in my refrigerator. And hot dogs aren't expensive. They're like the ramen noodles of meat, basically. I'm between jobs, but I've never been so poor that I couldn't afford enough hot dogs to fill a swimming pool with and practice my backstroke like the world's saddest Scrooge McDuck. And for some reason, though, I'm looking at this hot dog, I'm like, oh man, what if this hot dog has like a wife and kids waiting for it home, in my belly? And I just go into this real Vietnam flashback, and I'm like, buddy, you got the days in the wake up, we're going to get you home! Everything's going to be okay! And all of this happened in the space of 3 seconds. And at no point did grown-up Dustin step in and say, hey Dustin, maybe don't eat a hot dog off the floor. Hey Dustin, how's the view from rock bottom? Oh, this is what it looks like. Welcome to my nightmare. It should surprise nobody, based on these tales of whimsy and sadness I've told you, that in high school I was diagnosed with depression. And a lot of people in my school, they thought they had depression. What they did was just, oh man, mom forgot to pack me a snack pack in my lunch. The nipples above the hopper gone dry. Man. No, I had legit depression. I was on Prozac and antidepressants for it. I would be sitting at home, if a poster fell off the wall in my bedroom, I took that personally as some kind of a reflection of how my life was going. That's how bad my depression was. I got bummed out if the bus driver didn't say hello to me when I got on the bus in the morning. I was 11. And a lot of kids in my school, they pretend they had depression, for the attention and everything. And you could tell how serious it was by the kind of music they listened to. If they listen to acoustic stuff like Dashboard Confessional, things like that, they'd wear sleeves so that you thought something was going on. They listen to more serious stuff like Joy Division, Johnny Cash's later stuff. You might see cuts across the wrist, but we all know it's the wrong way to do it. And if we're going to be honest about it, wrist cutting, real slapdick effort trying to kill yourself anyway. It's essentially the hand job of suicide attempts. So if you're sitting at home, I got nothing better to do, I'll do this try, go home. And to put it in perspective for you, having depression is like having a heckler in your brain that goes everywhere you go. You'll get up in the morning, shower, man, I'm going to have a great day today. Somewhere in the distance a voice just yells out, nobody's going to fuck you today! Oh man, I suck. That's what having depression is like. Good news, you guys. I went to college once. And I went to the Bowling Green State University. Nobody calls it that. I'm going to throw this out here. Anybody know what Bowling Green's claim to fame is? Look at you, right on the trigger. Someone back there has ridden the Falcon. But yeah, that's TVs. That's my claim to fame. And I got shit from my friends all the time about that. Hey Dustin, how's things at BGSTD? You majored in herpes 101? Until finally one day I stand there and guess what? You can't get STDs if no one will fuck you! And then I cried for the rest of my life. I did manage to finish college. I was there for 6 years. Not because I was smart, but because for 2 years I thought a better use of my time would be day drinking and watching samurai movies. And I learned some lessons. One of the big things I learned, you guys are going to figure it out someday if you haven't already, you're going to learn that your friends are assholes. And the way I learned this, I was at a party, and I know what I look like, so I try and surround myself with people who look like this, so that I've got a shot with the ladies. And we're hanging out at a party, we're smoking and drinking and everything, and three really beautiful out-of-our-league girls walk by. And he taps me on the shoulder, he's like, hey Dustin, you know what I see? I'm like, 3 girls around my room, I have my phone in the corner. And he summons up all his confidence like he's Channing Tatum. He's not. And he points to each one, he's like, man, I see plan A, plan B, and plan C. It's like, man, that's not cool, you're objectifying women. Feminism, bro, come on. And it pissed me off because every night that I go out, I have one plan. I'm going to show up, I'm gonna get shithoused on whiskey. My shirt's gonna come off. I'm gonna start singing Billy Joel songs, real obnoxious, like, just Friday night, I'll crash Joe party. And I was just gonna stare at me, he's like, what the fuck? Isn't that guy like 30? Why is he still coming to college parties? And at the end of the night, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna fall asleep crying to the shower scene from Porky's on repeat. That's plan A every night. And but every time I tell that joke, like, it makes me think of this moment. Like I said, there were these girls that were out of my league. And I remember when I was a kid, like when I was in middle school, I came home one day to talk to my dad. And I told him, I was like, Dad, there's this really cute girl at school. She's funny, she's smart, she laughs at all my jokes, you know. She's really out of my league. And my dad put his hand on my shoulder and just looks me in the eyes and is like, son, no girl is out of your league. It's like, Dad, man, that's really cool of you. And in the time it takes a father to kill an honest moment between a son, he proceeded to pour a can of Milwaukee's Best into a bowl of Cheerios and eat it in front of me. Which is probably part of the reason I am on this very stage before you. This is the direction my life has taken. Maybe with a few more. I'm friends with a lot of comedians. Every time somebody asks me why I do comedy, it used to be stuff like, oh man, it's an art form, or, you know, I want to make people laugh. Now I realize the answer to why I do comedy, I'm just a terrible person. Like, and I'm friends with a lot of comedians, and we're the worst. Like, we're just fucking awful. And a lot of my comedian friends back home, like, they'll tell jokes about, like, how they're single, like they don't fucking know. And, like, every time they do, it's like, I can tell you why I'm single. Exhibit A. The last time I cried was all 4 times I saw Toy Story 3 in the theaters. Like, I've done the funerals for family and friends, people who on paper I loved and cared about. And I had sat there unmoving and stoic like a Cherokee warrior. You throw Woody and the gang in an incinerator, though, and you want to get to the high ground because Pixar has opened the floodgates. The other reason, I read a lot. Sometimes I read because I want to better myself. Usually I read because it impresses the ladies. Like, I've got a lot of books, like I've got 1984, Animal Farm. I even have a copy of Atlas Shrugged, in case I need that girls into choo-choo trains and eating babies or whatever the fuck that book is about. I don't know, I got 100 pages of railroads, wild objectivism, I don't get it. The last book that I bought with my own money was a book called The Monster Hunter's Guide to North America. And it's a book about cryptids. And for those of you unfamiliar with cryptids, they're creatures whose existence is like suggested but hasn't been proved by science yet. So things like, you know, your Sasquatches, your Yetis, your Chupacabras, your Loch Ness Monsters, or a father who's over there for you. I'll leave you with this one, Finley. I know the big question on everyone's mind tonight is, hey Dustin, has there been increased bear sightings in Ohio over the last 3 years? And the answer is yes. Yes, there has. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary Grizzly Man, but it's about a guy who lives with bears and then dies because he lived with bears. Like, I've seen it a couple of times. Like, I've learned some lessons. Like, I could go down there like a 21 Jump Street for bears, basically. Like, I can hang out with bears because when I was 10, a raccoon let me pet it once. So I got that in with nature. And like, I'd just be hanging out down there, you know, in the cave, and all the other guys would be like, hey, Glenn, what's this new guy? Oh, I don't know, I better go check it out. And he'll roll down, Ben will start everything up. Hey, new guy, what you doing over here? Oh, just bear shit. Oh, what kind of bear shit? Oh, you know, I caught some salmon in the stream, set a new record for swiping picnic baskets. I even put up posters telling humans they should play dead when we attack them because they don't know any better. I like your style. New guy, but there's a problem. You've been coming on here a couple weeks now, and you haven't touched this honey pot once. Ben, what are you trying to say? I think you're a fucking cop! That's what I do for me, guys.
Dustin Meadows, everybody. So while Dustin was up here ranting off about bears and shit, it has been confirmed I will be sleeping on the couch tonight. Apparently, I'm a bad person. But that's just me. I can't help it. That's the way I am. I'm an asshole like that. Been that way since I was this tall. Alright? I'm proud of it. It took a lot of work for me to get this way. Alright? I'm honest with myself because I honestly believe it. If you're honest with yourself, yeah, it's a lot easier to be honest with other people. And people don't like honesty. Oh no. They'll call you an asshole for telling the truth. Or they'll call you insensitive for telling the truth. Well, fuck it. I'll be an asshole. I'll be insensitive. I got no problem with it. I've gotten good at it too. Matter of fact, I got so good at it, I'm thinking about writing a book. An instructional manual, Insensitivity Training 101. How to find the inner asshole in you. It's a good ass title too. And it's going to be filled with all kinds of tips. And all kinds of tips for people. For example, if your woman ever asks you, do I look fat in these jeans, say no, but your sister would look better in them. Anybody ever ask you why you park in a handicap spot, say cripple need exercise too. Anybody ever ask you if you're homophobic, say no, I ain't never met a fairy that can whoop my ass. And I'm gonna have practical shit in my book. Practical shit you can use every day. Suppose you're in the bank or in the supermarket, you standing behind a woman who's got entirely too much perfume on. This is what you do. All you gotta do is tap her on the shoulder. She turn around and look at you, you say, excuse me ma'am, I was just wondering, what was the name of that perfume you're wearing? Now her ego is just gonna drop the name immediately. Oh, well it's eternity, or it's passion, or it's midnight fantasy, some shit. As soon as she drops that name, you just look at her and say, oh, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I completely apologize. I thought it was called Cheap and Desperate. Or, here's one more for you. Suppose you're in the zoo, and you see some little kids running around, acting a fool, getting on everybody's fucking nerves. You usually see 2 or 3 of these little bastards. Don't throw them in the lion's pit. Alright, that's way too extreme, alright? You can't throw them in the lion's pit. You gotta be subtle, gotta be sneaky. Alright, this is what you do. You wait for the kid to stray away from their parents a little bit. As soon as he stray away from the parents, you walk over to the kid, you tap him on the shoulder, look at him and say, you know, I bet you put your hand in that little cage, probably won't have to go to school tomorrow. But maybe that's just me. Now this next guy I've known for a long time. He's a real dear friend of mine. He got his start right here on this very stage. Kind of become the Robin to my Batman over here at Comedy FAQ. So please welcome back Keith Spurlock. How's it going, everybody? You know, I'm going to be honest, I wrote a bunch of jokes to tell you guys, and frankly, I saw... Yeah, fuck you. Frankly, I saw something on TV yesterday that just fucked me up, and I'm going to tell you all about it. I don't care, we already have your money, so you're going to listen anyway. Thank you. No, maybe some of you can relate to this too, so I'm high as fuck, and I'm flipping through the channels, right? And you get so high that you forget you're flipping through the channels. So all of a sudden you're just watching some fucked up show that you would have never watched before. About a half hour into this show, I realized I'm watching some crazy show about, amazing surgeries. Surgeries that had never been done before. I think the first one was like a little kid got like a pig liver or something. So it had my attention. The next one, they always start out with a reenactment too of how it happened. The next one starts out, the guy's at a construction site, and I'm thinking, oh, there's a million things that can go wrong for this guy. And I was wrong on every guess. This guy walks up to a cement mixer, one of the ones that's on the ground, and
And in the reenactment, you see him walk by it, and then you see him lean over it, and all of a sudden you hear a big rip, and the screen just goes black. It comes back on, and they're talking to the real guy, and he starts telling the story. His jeans got caught in the gears on the exposed side of the cement mixer, which consequently ripped his dick off. Off! Not just ripped it, and it's not like Lorena Bobbitt style, cut it off, where it could be reattached later. No, it ripped it off, and then slung it through the gears. So by the end of it, this thing's just some hamburger meat, right? And then it goes back to reenacting it. They got the guy back in the hospital, and the doctor, you know, was telling him the news. He's like, you know, we can't reattach your hamburger dick. But, and the guy looks up, and he's like, I think I can give you a surgery that will give you a functioning penis. We just have to cut one of your fingers off. And my brain exploded. Just thinking, which one do you choose? Because I'll give up a finger to have a dick. I'll give up a foot if that's what it really takes. They got prosthetic feet. I can handle that. Then I'm thinking, do I go with the thumb for the girth? But that's short. No, I don't want that. Do I go with the middle finger? I can't flip people off. Then I figured my index finger's crooked, so that'd be more realistic. And then I started thinking, do I get to keep the nail? You can paint it up for different holidays, you know, make it festive, make it fun. Then I started thinking all the things that I would give up to have a functioning dick. I figured, well, cut two fingers off, sew them together, then I get some girth going too. And then I thought, fuck it, if we're going that, I just want a whole hand. Fuck it, I want to keep the bones and the dexterity too. That's multifunctional. You could actually give a girl the shocker. For real. And I mean, every time you put a drink in between your legs while you're driving, you can hold that shit. So many I would fuck with people, go to shake their hand and just put your dick out on the chest and be like, oh. But then I thought, where's the cum come out then? Maybe we can put a hole at the end of every finger, and it would be like Star Wars when the Emperor gets the Force lightning every time I come. And then I thought, no, I got a better idea. We'll just do it at the bottom, and it'll be like Spider-Man. So right at the end, I just fling my leg. You know, there's some people like, hey, come here, baby. Oh, God. With all this dick talk, any of the parents out there, public service advice, at least something that my parents never told me as a kid, was whether I was circumcised or not. Yeah, I didn't know every dick I'd ever seen in a porn was circumcised. I go to the public school my 8th grade year. I'm sitting in gym class. I look over at fucking Snuffleupagus. Got an anteater. It looked like the tip of his dick fell off. And there was just skin around it. Who do I ask about that? Do I go to another friend and be like, hey, yo, I was looking at dude's dick? That shit looks fucked up. No, you just gotta be like, oh, well, I guess that guy just had the bad roll of the dice. I mean, or, you know, that'll make you wear a condom if you look at that shit. You're like, oh, Jesus, maybe he had sex. Is that what it does? Fuck. Because that shit, you know, I was just 14 when I saw this. I was just now getting hairs and changing down there. I thought maybe once I fully hit puberty, my dickhead was just going to fall off, and that's what happened. I didn't really get the talk from my parents. It was never anything about the talk. But, you know, I'm giving people advice to give their kids. I don't know. I don't have any kids. I don't want kids. I think it's a fucked up cult that you guys are all trying to get me to join. I'm tired of everyone coming up to me be like, Pete, you know, you're 31. Why don't you have a kid yet? Are you and your girlfriend gonna have a kid? I'm like, you know, maybe once they make abortion illegal and the pull-out method quits working. Maybe after that I might, I don't know, there's still hangers. So, oh, come on, I'm not going to really do that. Every parent always tries to tell you, you know, oh, you need to have a kid. They're so amazing. So amazing. You know, there's all these things they could do. The second you have a kid and start complaining about, oh man, they're in their terrible twos, they're like, yeah, they're a fucking nightmare right around then. You just told me how amazing this whole thing was. They're like, yeah, well, we just kind of want to haze you into the club. Good luck now. And I mean, I was an asshole as a kid, and I know my dad was an asshole as a kid. If I have a kid, it's a guarantee. He is going to be the worst fucking kid ever. And everyone tells me, they're like, oh no, if it's your kid, you'll love it. What if I don't? What if I hate that fucking kid just as much as I hate all your kids? It's a possibility. You know, I can't guarantee that I'm going to love the guy, or girl, or whatever, hermaphrodite. I don't know what it's going to be. Jesus. Kids, you know, there's so much pressure from everyone. It's always, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? And I just say, I'm too drunk and high right now to think about that. So just get back at me, never again. Now, I had a dream the other night that I had a kid. But let me just tell you, because of The Walking Dead, any of you watch that shit? That fucking show has ruined my dreams forever. I've never had a problem with scary movies before or anything like that, but ever since I started watching that shit, I've been having the most fucked up, zombie-filled, murderous dreams ever. And so I recently had a dream that I killed my girlfriend. A little advice to everyone out there, if you have a dream about killing your significant other, don't tell them about it. They are not going to get it. Like, I felt bad about it. I was just kind of trying to tell her, I'm like, oh my God, I had this horrible dream. And she was like, yeah, you don't have to tell me shit like that. And then she left for a day and a half, so I'm pretty sure she was just making sure that it was a dream. But that's all I got for you guys today. So, have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it alive. Who is also modeling for the new Snuggles the Inmate doll, available for convicted felons in 2013. Just keep an eye out for that. What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick intermission, let everybody get your drinks, get your smoke on, probably about 20 minutes or so. We'll be right back here. We got a lot more coming for you, so don't go anywhere.